because their markets really demand for that. And so Famunera 2022, we chose to have exporters onboarded on the platform such that we can have them sell big in the export market, but as well ensure reliable supply from the farmers that are doing the production at primary level. So the problem realized in the industry was that over 30% of farm inputs exist in our market here. And as a result, our country is losing over 1.5 billion because of that. If you notice, of course, this 1.5 billion is general of food, but for the FFV, we are looking at 200 million as of the previous stats. And our solution that we have for the ecosystem players, the exporters, and also the producers in cooperatives and farmer groups is we are providing you a digital platform where you are in position to showcase your products. That is the digital food marketplace. You showcase everything that you want to sell out in the export market. Then the inputs dealers at the farmer produce organization, because that's where we target these inputs dealers at the moment. Initially, we began with manufacturers, but the likes of the names that in the industry that are well certified by Ministry of Agriculture. But now, 2022, we chose to make sure inputs can go down to near where the farmers really they reside. So we've opted to work with farmer cooperatives, farmer associations that have trading certifications and have been approved by Ministry of Agriculture to trade the inputs. And so they are able to actually have their inputs put on the platform, and then they use our stock management system and other applications to be able to really manage the stock and also sell these inputs to the farmers directly. And so what happens if a farmer walks into this input shop, probably managed by a cooperative or a DFA, that's a district farmer association, they are in position to, this salesperson at the store is in a position to actually punch in those details. That is what the farmers bought, what product they have bought, when, what quantity, such that that information feeds our system at the supply level to know and easily predict what we should expect. So it will inform one of our exporters that is probably we have assigned to those producers, probably Thomas and Company, maybe it can inform any player that we are working with, maybe KK Foods, to know that this is what they should expect in this area in terms of what they may be requiring, in terms of the raw materials they need to buy from the farmers. And so at the end of the day, at the same time, Thomas and Company is in a position to have all their products they sell on the export market such that they can easily be able to aggregate more export business leads from the international market. So on top of that, on top of the marketplace, we have the digital traceability function incorporated in that when this order comes in, after you do all your negotiations with the buyers from out, that means that you are in position to have to start the traceability from when you start procuring these inputs, from when you start bulking the produce up to when you deliver it to the buyer. So if you look at our traction, we've been able to pull off work with up to over 26,000 farmers. And then we are also in position to work with over 50 plus currently food exporters who have been activated and ready to start real business with us on the platform. We have over 100 plus farm input suppliers ready to feed the producers with genuine quality inputs that have been certified by Ministry of Agriculture. Then we are currently moving $1 million plus in terms of inputs linkages, then $5 billion plus in terms of market linkages. So this is the traction we are currently able to pull off, but we are getting the game bigger, and I can assure you we should be able to see our exporters moving volumes over 300 millions plus in US dollars between now and 2025. And this is how you approach our website when you come onto a platform. This is the homepage. This is the marketplace homepage where you arrive at the marketplace. And then this is where the inputs, these are some of the inputs that you can be able to access, and also the farmers can be able to order in case they need to do production. And this, the produce that, some of the produce that is being showcased on the marketplace by the different exporters. And here is the opportunity that we have for you. You realize that the market value, that's the EU alone, is having a market value of over 36.4 billion in terms of agri-food trade. And we are looking out for just 3.3 billion. That's for Africa. And then Uganda alone, we want you to be able to have this value of 150 million plus to 300 million. And this is how the infrastructure when it comes to food and documentation traceability looks like. It's just a blueprint. We shall do a demo for you live on our system later on. However, you're looking at stage one, that's where production happens. And all the information, what the farmer purchases at where and what quantities is captured there. And then stage two, that's when the exporter starts to bulk the produce from the farmers, and all the information is captured at this stage. Then stage three, you deliver those goods to your pack house, and all the information around produce delivery is captured there. Then stage four, sorting, processing, and packaging happens at the pack house or the warehouse, and all the information is captured there as well. And at stage five, this is where the consignment, delivery, or shipment happens with the different logistic companies you work with, and all the information is captured there. And then stage six, where the customers sit, your buyers, both that already existing you own, and those that Famunera is able to pull out for you from the global market. And if you see, we are able to trace food all the way. And then the documentation regarding inspection reports, certifications, transaction reports, all that are captured. And so the QR code, the links that you share with the different partners you work with, that's the buyers, the regulatory bodies, the partners like the financials who need to unlock your capital, that is what you are able to use to share with them all the information. And then they're able to work alongside with you and grow your business. So among the partners we are working with, here is a list, and the list is bigger. However, we have NSSF. NSSF is one of our investors. And so we also have Exim Finance to buy. They are willing to roll in big capital for you, the exporters who need trade financing, and also the farmers who may need inputs financing. Then we have Stanbic is in the house. Still the same thing. Capital for trade financing and also inputs financing. Our funder is USAID, and USAID here. Within this program, we have other partners like Mesa Advocates. They are going to get you through how you sort out the issues that are already burning you in terms of you've lost money, people have really not paid you money. I mean, they are going to handle you in all that. And then we have UNCDF, they have been our partner, and also the big partner also in terms of every activity we are doing, especially reaching down to the exporters, who is Outfresh. So this is the list, but the list is bigger. Then we also have Otters Capital. So on our team, I lead the team. Personally, I have experience, over 10 years experience in agriculture, disruptive agriculture technologies, and I'm backed by a degree in accounting and financial management. I'm a self-taught computer programmer, I'm a farmer, and so much I've been able to learn in the industry along the way, because every day I get to learn. I'm also willing to learn from everybody in the house. And we have Frank Odonkara, who is our CTO, and then we have Damatov, who is also here in the house. She's our accountant. We have Nathan, operations lead. We have Isco Baker, who is leading our sales. And the team, other team members are not here. Then on our advisory team, we have Patrick Ayota, is a DMD at NSSF Uganda. Then we have Namuli Alice, partner at Katende Sempebwa and Company Advocates. Then we also have Meg Jekwe, the MD at, and also president at American Chamber of Commerce. Then we have Japheth Kawanguzi, the CEO at the Innovation Village. And then also we have Kenneth Legacy, the CEO at Otters Capital. And I look forward to learning from everyone. We're also looking forward to sharing all the opportunities we have for you, and I can't wait to engage. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Enoch, for that elaborate introduction of Famunera. We're also proud to be partners with Famunera, and I appreciate that all the other partners are here with us in the room. So we shall keep all the questions you have, note them, and I'm happy to note that for the first time, I think I'm seeing that we have our legal experts here. Many exporters have suffered, of course, over the time by not having very good deals, end up with bad deals. So please take use of their services and advice. Next, we have a representative from USAID to say something, representing Mr. Nyakatura Williams. Thank you, you're welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chazetoni Serugo, and I work at Strategic Investment Activity as an investment analyst. So I'm here to talk about the activity, our objectives, what we've done, and what we are doing. I'm doing this on behalf of our director, it's called Mr. John William Nyakatura. Couldn't be here, unfortunately, so I'm here to represent the entire SIA team. They send their warm regards. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you to this event. So what we do as Strategic Investment Activity, we are a USAID funded project that is running for 5 years. We started work last year. We are completing our first year. So our main goal is to drive inclusive growth in Uganda through private investments. And our major sectors, we're focusing on 3 sectors. That is agriculture, health, and energy. Agriculture taking a larger percentage of our efforts, that is 75%. Then we have 24% for energy, then health 1%. So what we're doing, this is in regards with the CDCs that USAID set out for Uganda to drive Uganda to self-sustainability, because we've been having a lot of grants moving around. But then and to do that, I think the private sector has to take lead. We can't have government doing most of the work. So that's why we are partnering with the private sector to ensure that Uganda gets to that level. So our objectives, we have 3 objectives as a project. The first objective is to increase commercial financing into Ugandan SMEs. That is from different investors, from private equity funders, from banks, from DFIs, from venture capitalists. So we have a whole pipeline of investors willing to deploy capital. So the gap that was noticed was that the capital is available, but then Ugandan SMEs are not ready to receive the capital. There's a gap in work, in documentation, in preparation. So the main objective of the project is to ensure that we cover that gap. Our second objective is to improve policies around the investment sphere. There's a huge problem around the policies. So our second objective is to try and work towards that, to improve the policies, the enabling environment in regards to investment. Our third objective is to increase the use of productive use of energy in the businesses in Uganda. We find that most of us spend a lot of money on electricity, but for things like, for consumption things, home use, TV, and all that. So we want Ugandans or Uganda to start using energy productively, to start using energy for commercial purposes. So that's our third objective. And we are doing this in partnership with a lot of private companies all over the country. So in this particular case, we are partnering with Famunera because we have a small section of grants, but these grants are going to companies with highly innovative and highly impactful ideas. So that's where Famunera came in with this innovative idea, because he had noticed a gap that exporters face in Uganda with our products that go out. I think you mentioned it, that there's a huge problem with the quality. So with this innovation of digital traceability, I feel like this is going to be a game changer, because one would actually know where the product came from, the inputs they used, the farmer, everything. So this was highly innovative and impactful, because you can imagine how many people are going to benefit from this. I think you showed a model here that showed that transportation. So it will come from the farmer, it will involve that transportation. So it will be a whole supply chain involving a whole number of people. So this is going to create employment and a lot of things, a lot of good things. So, and I think this is in line with the National Development Plan 3, with increasing of exports and all that. So if we have exports that are traceable and of the high quality, I feel like we shall reach the level of other countries, because as a country, we are able, we do have the land, we do have the people. So if such technology can come in to cover some gaps that have been hindering our processes, I think that will be good. So again, from USAID, I think we are committed to helping very many businesses to reach that level they're up to. So we are here to help, to interact, to discuss, to see where we can support, to see what we can do as an organization, to see how we can work hand in hand, because development can't be a one-man's job, so the partnerships are very welcome. So how we deploy our resources, lastly, how we deploy our resources. So what we do, a company comes in, and what we do is we offer what they call business development services and transaction to the business. This is leading to deal close. So most of our activities, since we are called strategic investment activity, most of our interventions are attached to an end goal. So what we are doing with Famunera is also attached to an end goal of Famunera unlocking extra financing, a greater financing. So this catalytic grant is to push Famunera to that level of unlocking bigger monies. So from his proposal, I think everything is clear. The exporters to actually get trade financing. So all that will be put in what we are doing. All that will be impactful to the nation, to the people. So our work, as you said, is to ensure that companies reach that level. And with Famunera's idea, I feel like we shall, or he shall, grow to a bigger company, and everyone will be benefiting from this, since it's technology, and you know how important technology is nowadays. So the whole model would actually benefit a whole group of people to the nation. Then lastly, I would like to commend Famunera for the work he's doing, and for being able to bring a docket of partners together for one major cause, and that's a better Uganda. So for more communication about the project, I'm here with my partner, my colleague, my workmate. She's called Fasi. We have leaflets we can share so that people get to know more of what we do in details, because I may not have actually explained everything. So we are here, you can come and we talk. Our offices, we are located at Nakawa Business Park, Block D, Level 5. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Indeed, you are our strategic partners, just as your department name is strategic what? Investment activity. You are indeed strategic. I would like to assure you that in this sector, we really have people who would like to invest, and they are looking for people like you. You may not be knowing, but here in the room, we have the current biggest exporter in Uganda, and he's doing regional business. And we also, Mr. Thomas, I think I've seen him at the back. You need to speak to him about farming. We have another one from Toko Dynasty, I've seen. He's also coming up with the huge investments. In addition to overseas exports, he's also looking at the regional markets as well. And I think he's going to Kenya, investing in Uganda and Kenya. You know, Kenyans consume a lot of our products, but he wants organized market in Kenya. So some of these people should be able to approach you, and many others, all our members here. Thank you very much. Keep your questions and let us interact as the time allows. We are running 1 hour late. The next one is we have brief remarks from Minister of Agriculture, Maif. Can you please come and give us the remarks on the importance of using technology and the role of Maif towards boosting exports of FFVs? Thank you. And that is Mr. Musimenta Abad. Thank you. You're welcome.
Maria, are you connected to this platform? Huh? Not really? Asking her whether she's connected to that platform. Project what I want to talk about. Cement Herbert is my name. Once again, I'm here to talk about the role of technology and what role we do in facilitating export of fruits, flowers, and vegetables. We, the Department of Crop Inspection and Certification, we are the National Plant Protection Organization. What does that mean? Exporters, when you hear of NPPO, what comes in your mind? You have an exporter here? Do you have any exporter here? No? What about the farmers? The farmers know us better since exporters don't know us. Yet they always frequent at times when we have issues with them, they say those guys are hard. Need to know them. We are mandated to issue what we call phytosanitary certificates for any agricultural produce leaving Uganda to any market. What does that mean? Is that we are supposed to do inspections of the produce to ascertain that this produce does not contain what we call harmful organisms. And of late, we call them unsolicited substances. So our big role is actually to facilitate trade. So I want to talk with our partners that the ministry there to facilitate trade, not frustrate trade as one of. So the reason is where you want to take your produce. We are in different geographical conditions and we have different pests. So there could be a pest in Uganda that does not exist in Belgium. So by you carrying your produce, there is a risk. If we have that pest in Uganda, there is a risk that the pest can go in your produce and reach Belgium and distort the agricultural system. So the reason why we exist is to protect our Uganda's agricultural systems and also that of our trading partners. That's why we'll be hard on you that please, before you go, make sure you don't have these issues. So we are there to help you to retain your market. Currently, in FFV, we are implementing what we call the systems approach in regards facilitating export is concerned. So what does systems approach entails? Initially, what we are doing, we are declaring, especially most of our fruits and vegetables go to the EU, we are declaring that for us, we do not have pests. But when they did an audit, we were lying actually. When they did an audit, they found we already had the problems, and the problems were massive. We couldn't get small areas where we would say, for example, the FCM was not present. So what we agreed on, we said, okay, we have the problem with us, but we can still trade with you safely. We will manage this problem. So systems approach involves a series of activities or measures that a farmer and the exporter, together with the regulating authority, are going to do. So whether it means right away from the seed, right away what you do in your garden, right away what you do in your pack house, that all those measures you undertake to make sure that by the time you export, the product does not have the harmful organisms. So that series of activities is what we call the systems approach, and that's what we are following. Our partner, they said, yes, we will trust you on this. Probably you'll do a good job. Now start. And ever since we started the system approach, at least our interceptions have gone low. In 2020, we were over 200 interceptions per month. But we have now come to around 5 per month. That's a very big difference, a very big leap. In as far as our exporters and our partners is concerned. Now, the issues of the harmful organisms, the pests have gone down. Now do you know what we are grappling with? Maximum residues of chemicals. Because we see it in a farm, there will be measures that we will put on to make sure we control the pests. So our farmers have actually opted to only opt for the use of chemicals. Now, which is not bad, but the trouble with it is that they are not observing what we call the pre-harvest interval. The time, the 3 weeks required between when you spray and when you harvest. Now, the interceptions on the harmful organisms, the pests have gone down, but now we are grappling with the interception of maximum residue. That our products, when they reach, especially in the EU, they have a lot of chemicals that what is permitted. So, what do we say? We say we need to work together so that we can also educate our farmers that whereas you are trying to manage this pest, but also it's not safe to bring food that is contaminated on the market. The exporters know what it means. And they usually pay heavily. And the farmer, I don't know how they deal with the farmer. If I was an exporter and you gave me your produce, it's intercepted, they pay billions of money to destroy those products in wherever they are. I don't know whether they reprimand, I don't know. But it's a very heavy cost. And very soon we may again start having issues of losing that market. We've managed the pest well, but how to manage what we are using, the measures we are using has become a problem. So now, in this system approach, our first interface with the farmer is registration. How many farmers are here and their produce go the EU? One by show of hand. Do you know your code? Do you have a code? You have a code. So, why am I bringing that? That this gentleman, maybe he's supplying one exporter, but the exporter may be having very many farmers supplying him. So he has, under our system, we have what we call the traceability codes for each individual farm. So that if there is a problem at his farm, then it is easier to only pick the boxes of his farm, because they are the boxes with the problem, and save the rest of the cargo. That's why it's very important that we embrace systems. Otherwise, if you have 20 tons, you don't know where each of your small units are coming from, then they will condemn all your consignment. But if you knew that I have 20 tons, but out of these 20 tons, I have 5 farmers and their boxes can be traced, then you can easily say the problem is on this farm, let's only reject what is for this farm and allow the others to go. So in this modern world, we may not do away with the digital solutions, the traceability. That's why Famunera comes in handy. But I want to say that systems are not a replacement of other measures. I hope that should be clear. That we still need to do our things, because what you put in a system is what you get out. So even if you say, okay, I have a good robust system, but your farmer, the farmer supplying you, is not doing the right thing, still won't help. So the digital solutions will actually enable ourselves, our systems to work more efficiently and more effectively, but they are not going to replace what you are supposed to do. Is at the farm, is at the park house, wherever, is on how you transport your products. So those measures must remain, but they can easily be made much more effective if we embrace the digital solution. In the Ministry of Agriculture, we already have what we call the agro-traceability system. We are about to roll it out very soon. Of course, it's an improvement of what he has. You already have the system. We want to make it digital, because he already tells you you have a code. That code is known Is if his exporter is exporting in Belgium. They know him, that he's number this. So we want to bring it on a digital platform to engage the majority of you. It's not a substitute of Famunera. The other one is the national traceability system. So, but it doesn't stop us from having our individual. Before we actually intercept your thing, you should have intercepted it long time ago. That should be the mode. Before the inspector comes and says this one have a problem, you should have known what the problem earlier than us. So I encourage all of us to embrace digital solutions to ease our operations, to ease our work in whatever we are doing, especially with our fruits, flowers, and vegetable sector. Thank you so much.
Let us give him a clap again, and thank you so much. Those are also our strategic partners. So, as you all know, those we call them NPPO, the National Plant Protection Organization. Every country has a designated national plant protection organization, which is designated, and it works under the framework of IPPC, International Plant Protection Convention. So in Uganda, those are our people, and we cannot do without them. I need to thank them for the support they have given so far, and we're working together. He mentioned the issue of MRLs, which is critical, but also we also stubborn. Sometimes we use chemicals that are that are banned, and they provide a list of the approved chemicals, pesticides for use in our gardens. So he's still in the room, they're here. Keep your questions and interact with them at the right time. Thank you. Next, we are running a little bit late. Next, let me invite my neighbor here, Mr. Kecho Lawrence, from Uganda Export Promotion Board, to give us his remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, moderator. And thank you, Famunera, for putting us together in this room. First and foremost, allow me to introduce myself. I'm called Okecho Lawrence Michael at Uganda Export Promotion Board. I also take care of the Directorate of Export Market Development and Promotion. I am here on behalf of the Executive Director, and we are indeed very excited to be here. We have been asked to make a brief remark on the importance of using technology. Now, when you look at technology is a very wide area, and it covers very many things. You have technology in the seeds, you have technology in the equipment, machinery, you have technology in the digital aspect, and for today specifically we are talking about technology in the digital front. Now, why is technology important? So why should you engage in technology? First and foremost, the world belongs to the organized. Any consumer, any customer will always want to deal with people who are organized, and the level of your organization will be seen in your systems. And therefore, using technology is very important for being visible. It is also very important that you use technology, digital technology, in that it will provide you with a lot of information. For example, if you looked at that site there's a lot of information there. But to get that information, you actually also need to prepare yourself. You need to educate yourself on how to use technology. Otherwise, technology will not be an end in itself if you are not able to use it. For example, if they put a car in front of you and you don't know how to drive a car, that car becomes useless. And therefore, it means you actually need to train yourself how to drive a car before that car becomes useful to you. The other thing that is very important for you to use technology is that it is an area where you network. You can talk to so many people. You can talk laterally amongst yourselves. If you are, say, a farmer or you are an exporter, you can talk amongst yourself. But you can also talk vertically, meaning you can talk with you, link up with your farmer, yourself, then somebody on top, and until you reach the consumer. And I think probably what I will need to request from Famunera is we need to have a component that captures what the consumers of these products that we take, because I think for now it stops at the people we supply, the outlets. But I think we need to move one step and begin having a feel of what the people who consume, the people who eat this food that we send, say about the Ugandan food. Because we know very well that Ugandan food is top of the range. Now, it is also important for you to use technology because it simplifies payments. You will be able to know who has paid, who has not paid, what is the balance, and so on. The other importance is that, as I said earlier, the world belongs to the organized. Now, when you use technology, it will be able to help you to market. It will also be able, you see there's a difference between marketing, selling, and distribution. Now, if you use technology, it will help you to market yourself as an organization. It will help you to market your products, and it will help you to talk to others in the marketing front. But it will also help you to sell. Delivering, which is the distribution component, the system will help you to know whom are you selling to, whom are you distributing to. The other thing is security. This system, the digital system, and the Famunera in particular, will help you to have security. You know, in Kampala, we say, Kampala si bizimbe. And likewise, the world si bizimbe. There are all sorts of people. There are fake people there. There are briefcase people, and so on. But if you use technology, it will help you actually to trace and deal with the right people at the right time, in the right place, rightly. The other thing is the issue of the inputs, which is captured here very well. Garbage in, garbage out. If you use the wrong input and you have the wrong product and you come to the Famunera technology, it will still not help you. So if you use these technologies, you'll be able now to source, where do I source, who is having the right input for me. It will help you to apply the input, and eventually you'll have the right product, and that is how you'll be able to benefit. The other thing that I also note that is very important is the aspect of the value chain management. For us to have the consumer of what we are producing and selling and exporting satisfied, actually to exceed their expectations, we need to look at the whole of our value chain, and that therefore means what is put in, how it is applied, how it is managed, how it is handled at the pack house until how it reaches the consumer. So that will be something that is very important that we need to look at critically, and why we need to use technology. It helps us in our value chain management. This technology also will help you to manage your costs, and that therefore means your profitability. For example, if I went outside this system and I got the wrong input, and my residue levels are probably also high, do you know the amount of costs that I will incur when that consignment is rejected? The consignment will be rejected at my cost. So you can see how costly the whole thing is. But if you are in an organized system like Famunera and following it consistently, your profitability level will be higher. And I think that is something that talks clearly to itself. So it is very important that we prepare ourselves on how to use this thing. Learn, and learning, Famunera will be teaching you. You can also learn from your peer learning. And you can also learn from other places. But the key thing, you must begin having the basics. It is not about having this computer or laptop in front of you. Which button does what? Which program does what? How do I reach to this website? So those are some of the reasons why we emphasize the use of technology, not just digital, but across board. So if it is the processes that you have at the farm level, those must also be very clear. And if you can digitalize it, the better. Now, how do we, as Uganda Export Promotion Board, which is the government agency responsible for the coordination, development, and promotion of exports, come in to support this process and to boost exports? You see, our interest in boosting exports is varied. First and foremost, we need foreign exchange. We need jobs. We need the healthy people. We need to be shining. So it is not just about the forex that we are receiving, but the whole comprehensive set of things, including using all the other facilities and development that is being done in the country. For example, the issue of the infrastructure, the roads, the electricity, the security, and all these things. We must be able to utilize these things through by engaging into exports. So what do we do? First and foremost, it is very important that while you operate as a farmer, while you operate as an exporter, know that you are part of an integrated system. And therefore, your action can ruin everybody, but can also take everybody to the next level. And from this, we look at the export readiness assessment. As UEP, Uganda Export Promotion Board, we do an export readiness assessment on you. Now, when we do the assessment on you, we want to understand how ready are you to export. And we have a self-checker that we send to you, then you tick a few things, then we'll come back and look at it. Although we have a challenge that most of you, or some of you, always have a feeling that you need to say what we want to hear. Let me repeat that. You want to say what we want to hear, because you have a feeling that if I say the contrary, these fellas will throw me out. That is not the case. We want you to say nothing but the truth. If your finances are not right, tell us it is not right. If your production processes have issues, tell us. Our role is to assess the level, the gaps that you have, and then we come and polish up those areas. If it is production issues, we'll sort it. If it is financial issues, if it is technology issues, we shall bring Famunera and the rest come. And while we are doing all this, responding to the results of the assessment, we work with everybody. If one of you is very good in something, you will come and show this person that this is what we do. This is how it is done. So tell us nothing but the truth for us to enable you, for you to enable us, help you. The other thing that we look at is once you are ready, and this is something we emphasize, if you go in the market as exporter A, and what you have sent there is wrong, it is intercepted, and there's a problem there, they will now not say it is exporter A who is bad. They will say it is Uganda. And every other person in Uganda will be a victim. So we emphasize that before you get into the market, we need to do comprehensive export readiness assessment, and then we train you and link you up so that you do the right thing for the good of everybody. The other thing we look at is once, globally there are fairs taking place, there are expos taking place. Once such things come and we know who you are, we shall actually inform you that there's such a thing. For For example, there's mark fruit going to take place, and this is what is required of you. We shall support you, see how you get there. If there are issues of visas, we shall tell you all the requirements, we shall ensure you have a booth, and so on and so forth. The other thing we look at is we also recognize and reward. You see, to be recognized is something very nice and a nice feeling. It motivates you. It gives you that extra energy. It gives you that extra courage to move the next mile. And because of that, we take our time to recognize who are the best exporters by category, in which sector, in which region. Because you act as an example. People believe by seeing and touching. So if you are in a village somewhere, you're in a town, you're in a region, and people actually know that, hey, he has been awarded for this. I think it is an area we can also go. So we do this reward when we have a week where we call what we call the export week. And in this export week, we do several engagements. We have what we call clinics. I know some of you, when you hear the word clinics, your mind runs to the medical clinics. But when we talk about clinics, we get a group of people in either manufacturing or agriculture or services, and we sit together like this and discuss the issues, see the trends, and what are the potentials, and so on. And at the end of it, we come up with an agreed actions on what we should do next. So that is what we call the Export Week clinics. Then within the Export Week clinics, we also have the conference, where we now bring, for the clinics, we bring people in a particular category or subsector. For the conference, we bring everybody on board, and then we discuss export-related matters. People bring issues, we identify and agree on the next steps, and that is what the next year we follow. Within the Export Week also, we do the Presidential Export Award, where we recognize and reward people, give them trophies and so on. And it's nice to have these trophies. When you also get your client and you say, you show your awards, it takes you one step forward. The other thing that we do to support this process, once you are compliant, is we also link you. We link a farmer to an exporter. We link an exporter to another market. We also want to see if the farmers get more organized and they have been linked, they now understand, they can also begin exporting. But what is key here is that we need, in whatever we do, we need to be very consistent, because the export market is not like our village market. And I assume that all of us have villages here. Are there people here who don't have villages? All of us, you see, in a village, these village markets. I just have my cabbage here. I just carry it under my armpit or my bag or on my bicycle, my boda. I go to the market, open market. I don't care who is buying. And the person buying is also not bothered from who is buying. And at the end of that, the deal is done. No more relationship. Next time I go to another one. Next time I come back to the same market, I am not bothered with who bought last time. But when you get into the export market, there is an aspect of consistency in what you do. You must be available as and when required. What you need to note is the persons you are exporting to or are supplying have consumers, and these consumers need consistency. These consumers are there not to say that because the supplier A did not supply, therefore I am out of stock. That is not, they want availability and consistency. The other thing that we do is we also ensure that you have conducive working environment. And that's where, we always engage. If there are issues and you say we have issues here, engage us. We shall try to ensure that those issues are addressed. If my brother here, you said you are from Chikube. If there are issues in Chikube and you want us to come there, just get in touch with us. We shall come. We shall talk to everybody concerned. A very good example we had in Arua, the Arua district. I said, I have my producers here, I have my associations, cooperatives, I have politicians. Please come and. So we moved from here, we went there, we talked to everybody, showed them what should be done, where and when and how. And by the time we left the place, everybody is concerned, everybody is focused. The district knows that actually we have to budget to support. So those are very, very important engagements. And in terms of the things we do, there are very many. I can talk until the cows come. But I am here. Let's continue the engagements. We are located on Nakasero Road, on UEDCL Towers, second floor. Anytime you walk in, we are available to engage. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okesho. Indeed, the cows are still grazing. It's still in the morning. They will not come now. They should come at 5, 6, is it 5 or 6 p.m.? Thank you for that perspective of Uganda Export Promotion Board. It's now time to get a perspective from a commercial bank, that is Stanbic Bank. We're proud to have you here, and you are one of our proud partners. Many people talk of commercial banks in Uganda as being a little bit not comfortable with agriculture, but I believe Stanbic Bank has not been so. It has been supporting agriculture. So without wasting time, let me invite the representative from from Stanbic Bank to, yeah, you may speak from there, but you need this. Kindly pass it over.
Thank you once again. Good morning, everyone. Gerard Biaruhanga is my name. I work with Stanbic Bank Uganda Limited as a relationship manager, agribusiness. I've been in Stanbic for the last 10 years, and I've acted in different roles. I'm here to represent the bank as well as the department as agribusiness, since that's our main focus and the reason as to why we are here. I'm here to talk about why it is technology is important in the export business. First of all, technology improves efficiency in whatever you are doing as a business. Gone are the days whereby you'd walk long distances to do business. But right now, with your laptop, with your computer, you can do business and improve on the turnaround time for delivery. You are delivering to your customers. You are processing your documents for export. It makes everything simple for you to do business. Secondly, it enhances communication among your customers, your farmers. I remember those days where you used to write letters and whatever, but right now you can be able to communicate with your farmers. You can be able to communicate with your customers cross borders at any time you want. Then two, it is easy access of information, and I know information is key when we are doing business. And in terms, I'll give you an example. I don't know whether some of you have gone to the websites of maybe Ministry of Agriculture, Bank of Uganda to understand what they offer to the farmers. I've worked with Bank of Uganda in terms of the offerings. We have, that's the Agriculture Credit Fund through Bank of Uganda. Then we have got support to mitigate some of the risks. Maybe the inputs you are using, being used by the farmers who are the key in this business. We get all that information from those websites. We are able to understand which suppliers are registered and are genuine, and which suppliers are supplying genuine products to our farmers. Then technology also helps us to get more business. I know I know you do a lot of research websites. Here you get to know the people who are ahead of you and leverage on that to do better business than them. I know businesses are like these fingers. We are never equal. But we use the information available to do successful businesses. Then another importance of technology, it also helps us to cut costs. And I'm very sure everyone do business to earn profits at the end of the day. Nobody would be happy to do a business which is a loss-making. So information, technology, the way we do our transactions can be in the banks, it can be how we transact with your customers abroad who are you export to. I very well know there is at least minimized costs when it comes to communication. Then another importance it gives is that it gives you competitive advantages. When you do research about different players in the sector, it helps you to understand what can I do better than my fellow exporter. So with technology, you can be able to get that competitive advantage and see how best you can serve your customers. Then as a bank, our purpose in this economy is that we drive the growth of our country. And what have we done as Stanbic Bank? Make sure that we boost the export business. As a bank, we look at the entire value chain, starting from the supplier who is bringing the farm inputs. Then we do support farmers in a way that I didn't take you through the under agribusiness. We have 3 arms, whereby we do have what we call one farm, have circles, then we have agriculture as the main department. So what we do under one farm, we support the farmers to ensure that they produce quality products. We support them through, we do hire experts to support them in advisory services, ensure that they use they do the best practice of agriculture, make sure they produce the quality products, which is recommended on the global market. On the global market, what we do under one farm, we bring we do finance the what we call the primary players. Those are the farmers. We finance them by providing them the farm inputs like fertilizers, chemicals. But of course, when we are shortlisting the suppliers, we do work with the Ministry of Agriculture to ensure that whatever is being supplied them is of standard. Then we also support cooperatives and circles, whereby who have our mothers in the villages, our families in the villages, who come together and do business. So we finance them. The reason as to why we decided to organize them under circles is that initially people took us as a very expensive bank, a lot of requirements, whereby customers would come to the bank and we ask for. But when we bring them together, we make sure we support them through financing them without any security. So at the end of the day, when they are together, they can be able to produce for you what you need. Then we also do support them on training them on financial literacy trainings to help to support them to manage their cash flow records. We have gone ahead to digitalize them, mainly to support the sector. Right now, I think in the next 5 to 10 years, you will be able to go to the circle and say, I need ABC. But through the records they have, because we have digitalized them, we have their databases, can be able to go and ask, I need ABC. What do you do? And what is the evidence that you do ABC? Most of them were coming up. They are coming up with websites where you can access their products, such that it makes business easy for you people who are the off-takers for those farmers. Then we have also come up with a product for women for her, rather Stanbic for her, whereby we support women. I think you will believe it that women are very important in the sector when it comes to quality. That one you need to accept. So we are supporting women through training them, still using our experts to train them on how best they can penetrate into different business. But mainly agriculture being the backbone of our economy, that's our focus as of now. Then we also support the business, the companies that are doing this kind of business through financing them. As I told you, we look at the entire ecosystem from the time of purchase, supplying, how do you transport your products. Stanbic Bank, we do support in terms of if you have a contract, we can support you and offer you a facility for business, what we call business working capital. We do pre-delivery and post-delivery. What do we do at pre? We give you finance. We support you to purchase from the farmers. Then we sorting, transportation, and delivery. Once you deliver, there is what we call post delivery, whereby you may need money to continue doing business before payments. Ideally, there is when you are doing contract, when you are doing supply, there is what we call payment terms. You might supply and someone takes time to pay you, like maybe between 30 to 60 days, and you say, yeah, I want to discount my invoice. You can agree, we discount it maybe by 70%, we give you the money, go and continue trading. But then when they pay you, we recover our 70% plus the little interest that we recover, release the rest of the money. Then for the people who are into transportation, we have what we call vehicle and asset financing. We can finance, we can give you trucks, to maybe refrigerated trucks, because it is important in this sector. We support you in that line, but we do the lease facility. Then you start paying on a monthly basis. You can agree on the terms and the conditions. But at the end of the day, it helps you in the transportation, other than hiring trucks to transport your items. Then under that proposition, we also do support companies and individuals on setting up factories. Because you might say, since we are looking at the advanced technology, you might say, because now I'm incurring a lot of costs in sorting and doing what, we have that proposition where you can purchase an automated maybe machinery to support you in that business. And we don't end there. We have what we call Africa-China, where we have suppliers and brokers to support you get the genuine machinery. Then lastly, we also do, in terms of transactions, we support the exporters to mitigate the risks of losing money through the forex exchange. We have experts under our global markets who advises our customers on how best they can hedge. Because for them, they're experts, they can foresee what might happen based on the economy challenges. So we do hedge. Can say maybe we are going to hedge at a certain amount. So whatever transactions you do during that time period we have agreed, you do at a certain amount. such that in the event that maybe the dollar drops, continue transacting on the same rate, for you not to lose out money. So we have that support as well. At the same time, when we come to transactions, we have managed to digitalize all our transactions, whereby maybe you need to pay your farmers, because ideally, when you have a certain product, you must be having farmers who, instead of doing the schedules and going to the bank, those queues, you can do it on your own. We have what we call FlexPay, whereby you can put in all. You might be having casual workers who are not willing to go and open the accounts in banks. Then you do it on your phone. You can do it on your laptop, just to make your work easy and convenient. Then still in terms of transactions, we also do what we call online payments. You might be maybe purchasing something from outside Uganda and you want to pay by use of TT. So our system is designed to meet all those client needs. We do inter-account transfers. Instead of going to the bank, you just do it from your office. And whatever you do on your own, the cost is 50%. So mainly that simplifies your work and also cuts the costs you incur when you go to the bank. So other than that, once again, I sit at Crescent Towers. In case you need any kind of information where I have not maybe clarified very well, you can reach out to me. I'm going to share with you my business cards. So in case you need any kind of support, we're there to support. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gerard, for sharing the role Stanbic Bank plays. I'm sure you're still around with that. Members, interact with him as we proceed. I know we are running a little bit late, but I propose we conclude the remaining remarks so that we can have an interactive break tea as we proceed with the presentations of today. Next is MESA Advocates. They are here with us. And as I mentioned earlier, that many of exporters have had bad experiences in the past and of not having proper contracts and losing money in due course. We are proud, we are happy that you are here with us. So you can be the starting point to support those who are here and those who are not here. Those who are here who are not our members are encouraged to join HotiFresh. Please join HotiFresh so that we can share more and more experiences and support services. Thank you. So, Mesa, you're most welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As I said earlier, I'm Mebo Kisaka from MESA Advocates. Can you hear me? Yes. So regional and international trade is made possible because there are laws that are formulated. There are laws, bilateral agreements, and treaties that are formulated to make this possible. And without understanding the legal framework, it's sometimes hard to navigate the regional and environment and international trade system. So at MESA, we specialize in helping exporters navigate this legal environment. And I know we had been tasked to talk about the role of MESA and the role of technology. And I think the previous speakers have talked about the role of technology, and I don't think I have anything useful to add. So I'll go straight to the role of MESA in aiding regional and international trade. With regional trade, we look at the East African community, and then there is the tripartite. And under the tripartite, we have the COMESA, SADC, and the East African community. In other words, if you have passed the standards of the East African community, you can easily trade under COMESA and SADC. And what is COMESA? COMESA is the common market for East and Southern Africa, and then the SADC is the southern markets. That's the Southern African Development Community. So you can be able to trade in those countries, and with those regions, those regions cover around 26 countries. And now we have the African Continental Free Trade Area. With the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, we have reduced tariffs and non-trade barriers for exporters to be able to trade in the whole of Africa. And I know now with the rules of origin, tariffs have been reduced up to 86% of the commodities, and they're about to reduce tariffs for all the commodities. And for us as a country and as exporters, we need to know more about the trade agreement so that we are able to trade within the rest of Africa. And the previous speaker talked about the fact that our goods are mostly consumed in Kenya. And Kenya is not the only country that needs Ugandan goods. Rwanda needs them, Congo needs them, Sudan needs them, and so is the rest of Africa. With our regional trade agreements, we are able to export within the region, which is Africa, because we have similar tastes and preferences. If you have to trade, let me give an example. Your goods to China, for example, like fene or matoke. There are very few people that would consume matoke and fene in China. But if you have to sell the same fene and matoke within Africa, you'll have a larger market. And with the African Continental Free Trade Area, you'll be able to export your fene, your matoke in all these countries in Africa with reduced tariffs and non-trade barriers that have been removed. And the other advantage about the AfCFTA and the tripartite that I talked about is that you'll be able to also access raw materials such as fertilizers, and you'll be able to get a huge benefit from your exports. Why? Because you're not paying tariffs, and some of the non-trade barriers that you face that are placed by countries will be able to be removed, and with that you get more profits. So the earlier speaker, the representative I think from USAID, said that the gap in documentation, compliance, and lack of knowledge in the entire regional and international trade framework is apparent, and I think that is where we come in. So as MESA, we help exporters. We help exporters with agreements ancillary to exports, such as distribution agreements, agency agreements, and other memorandum of understandings that you may come up with. Mr. Okecho highlighted earlier that they create linkages. They create linkages for exporters to other partners that need your products. And I think also Famunera does that. But then when you have this linkage to supply goods, for example, we help you with that documentation that you need with that person so that your rights are protected, so that you get good value for your products. And we also help you with advisory on letters of credit arrangements. Letters of credit is a form of payment where you are assured that once you put those goods on the ship with the bill of and you get a bill of lading, you can be able to go to your banker and get your money paid. And I know most people lose out on that because they have not put up a proper letters of credit arrangement with the people they are supplying. And we help you with joint ventures, collaboration, franchising, licensing, Incoterms. I know you're similar with CIF, XWorks, FOB. We help you with that, give you advisory on that, international arbitration, and dispute resolution. International trade has a specified dispute resolution system that is not the ordinary resolution system we are used to, the usual courts that we are used to. So we help you with that. And then on the domestic side, we help you with export controls. We give legal advisory on export controls, tariff and non-tariff barriers, depending on the country you intend to send your goods. We help you advise on the sanitary and phytosanitary measures, import reliefs, such as anti-dumping, countervailing duties and safeguards, customs classifications, valuation and rules of origin matters. And I know with the digital traceability that Famunera and MIFE are offering, it helps you with the rules of origin that is a requirement for regional and international trade. And in relation to international trade treaties, we guide you and give you advice on World Trade Organization if you're trading outside Africa. We guide you on bilateral trade agreements. There are so many benefits that are in these bilateral trade agreements and regional trade agreements that most exporters don't know about. So if you come to us and you tell us you want to take your goods, for example, to Kenya, we can be able to advise you and be like, oh, there is this that is available for you, depending on the good that you want to take out. So we guide you under those agreements and guide you in trade negotiations and regulations and sanctions. And if you face any unfair practice, we can guide you to escalate that unfair trade practice that you faced in a particular country with the government. And I know with Famunera and MIFE and the Export Promotions Board, they are here to support exporters, but on the legal side, we are committed to help you navigate all the legal issues relating to regional and international trade. And before I hand over to Sophia, who is going to speak about the business aspects, we are located in this same building, level 8, and you can check out our website, which is www.mesaadvocates.com.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mebo. Good morning, gentlemen and ladies. Well, there are certain salient statements that I have taken note of from previous speakers. The gentleman from USAID said Ugandan SMEs are not ready to receive capital. There is a lot of capital, but they are not ready to receive capital. The gentleman from the Ministry of Agriculture noted that registration of produce that goes to the EU and embracing the ministry system is not being followed by exporters. Mr. Okecho Lawrence mentioned that the world belongs to those who are organized. Those, for me, were very key aspects. And I just want to center my discussion around how are we running our businesses as exporters, as businessmen, as business people. I will not delve so much into the other aspects because I am inclined to talk about the law. But compliance, legal compliance, is very key to how you run your business. Legal compliance, briefly, means the act of a company adhering to laws and policies that are pertinent to the sector within which they do business. So as exporters, the sector within what you're doing, most of you are operating companies. Companies by law are legal and distinct entities that are separate from the individuals that run them. That means that there are laws that govern how these companies are supposed to run. Our role as MESA advocates, as lawyers, partnering in this cause is to ensure that we cover all the legal aspects for you to enable you to do your business better. How is corporate governance being handled in your companies? How are companies making decisions? Yeah? In a situation where you're supposed to file a resolution, enter into an agreement for and on behalf of a company, as directors, as shareholders, who is negotiating that contract for you as an exporter? Who is ensuring who is making sure that the terms that the company is entering into with other parties that it's going to do business with favorable terms? Who is making sure that the dispute resolution mechanisms that you're agreeing with or to as a company, mechanisms that favor you? Arbitration, which is the preferred mode of settling disputes, and international trade is very complex. You will enter into an agreement, and the other party's lawyer will make a better negotiation to the effect that when a dispute arises, this matter will be settled in a seat, maybe somewhere in London, somewhere in Paris, in Nairobi. But what if you had a lawyer who can make a better negotiation for you? So that at the end of the day, you're saving money, reducing costs, and making sure that you're being effective and your business is continuing. So let us also look at the internal running of your companies. How are you running your businesses? How are you managing your employees? Do you have employment contracts? Or are you being dragged to the labor office every now and again? And that is wasting time. Yeah? How are you ensuring that when these disputes come, you have a mechanism, an in-house mechanism, say before a lawyer who can help you handle this, so that you save time and business goes on? As far as taxes are concerned, how are you, to start with, before we even talk about compliance of payment of taxes, who is helping you ensure that you're paying the minimum amount of tax that there is? Yeah? So that you don't have to pay these exorbitant taxes under these very difficult commercial times that we are doing business in. Yeah. So those and more are things that are legal issues that Mesa Advocates solves or offers solutions to ensure that you actively carry on your business. There is so much to the law that we can talk about, but I implore you all to come to our law firm, which is on level 8, suite 810. And we shall be able to build solutions for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Advocate, and I'm sure you're still around. Please, members, interact with them. We are almost, the opening session is almost over, so that we can have a cup of tea. But before we go for the cup of tea, on behalf of HortiFresh, I would like once again to welcome here all our participants and all our partners. And I would like to thank Famunera and USAID and all our other partners who have come here today. And I would like to just also apologies from the Executive Director of HortiFresh. That is, he's unable to be with us due to engagements. As I mentioned earlier, HortiFresh is an all-inclusive association. It has just made 1 year. We celebrated our birthday recently. Was it last week? I wasn't here, but it is 1 year. HortiFresh has not come into play to suffocate other associations. We want to work with them, and they are our partners. And we want also to work with as many stakeholders as possible, government, institutions, development partners, and MSMEs, such as the legal companies, the banks, and so forth. We have two main goals. One goal is to grow this potential You know, we've been talking about potential in fresh fruits and vegetables for donkey years, for over 2 decades, but we have not seen the traction. We haven't been seeing the traction. We all say there is potential, high potential, vegetables grow quickly. Kenya is earning so much. We need to benchmark. We have good climate, soils and water, fresh water, but we are not yet there. So the goal is that during this time of our existence, we want to work together with everybody to ensure that we grow the potential. Mr. Kesho here was telling me that he's a farmer himself. I am also a farmer. I've been an exporter. I stopped exports to Europe because I don't want to export to ethnic markets. I did not see the benefits. Put so much money, get little. Sometimes you lose it. So I said, now I want to go into regional market. I will be exporting to Kenya, growing certain things for Kenyan market, but all that we can share. So our goal, number one, is to make sure that we set up a professional team which is accountable to ensure that we grow this sector to its potential. It's worth a $2 billion annually. That's what I've in some literature I've seen. So we want to achieve that in the shortest time possible. Another one goal is to ensure that everybody eats safe. You know, we have been telling my here that you know that we try to export safe, control MRLs for all the safe things we export and so forth. But we're also human beings, so we don't forget ourselves. So, is to grow local, regional business of fresh fruits and vegetables, and ensure that we also eat what? Safe. So for that matter, we are coming up with some private standard certification schemes which will follow under self-regulation with MAIF to ensure that even what we eat is certified, and very soon you will be seeing some things on the market, in the markets here, that this is certified for, it is safe, because even it's very difficult to separate a farm into two. That now this section of the farm, I'm growing what? For export, and I'm keeping all the records. But these tomatoes, which I'm selling here, Shukamba, so I don't want to waste a lot of our time today, but I'm very sure that all our strategic partners are going to work with us, to walk this talk with us, and we should achieve in the next 5 years. We are developing a strategic plan which will be launched very soon with support from Hotimap, and USAID is coming in to support our under-institutional capacity building. We would like to do business, not sustainable business, not depend on grants forever. So all of you here will be our partners, and I encourage, we still have, how many sessions more? 4. So all these sessions, we hold them all like this with the advice of Mr. Naika here, so that people can benefit. With those few remarks, I thank you all. I'd like to invite you for a break tea. I don't know whether it is ready. Is it there? Yeah, please proceed. And we have only 15 minutes because the most interesting part of this session is yet to come. Thank you.